Have you ever found yourself reflecting on life, wondering if things might have turned out differently if you'd made other choices? It's something many of us feel as the years go by. The truth is, the decisions we make later in life have a powerful impact, not just on our happiness but on our health, our relationships, and our sense of peace. Some choices might seem harmless at first. A small habit here, a delay there. But over time, these small missteps can quietly grow into problems we never expected, leaving us feeling isolated, overwhelmed by finances, or dealing with health issues that might have been prevented. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 of the most common mistakes people make in their later years. Mistakes that can quietly erode the life they worked so hard to build. And the surprising part? Many of these things happen so gradually that folks don't even notice the damage until they're deep in it. But here's the good news. Once you become aware of these patterns, you can do something about them. You can make gentle changes that not only protect your well-being, but also add richness, meaning, and comfort to your daily life. So I hope you'll stay with me through the end. This isn't just a list of what to avoid, it's about how to protect the time you have, how to nurture joy and purpose, and how to make choices that serve your future well. We'll go through each of these 5 mistakes, talk about how they happen, and most importantly, how you can avoid them. Let's begin, because it's never too late to create a life you truly enjoy. Number 1. Letting your physical health slide. One of the most common and quietly harmful mistakes people make as they get older is letting their physical health take a back seat. It rarely happens all at once. Maybe you skip your morning walk a few days in a row. Maybe you grab a frozen dinner instead of cooking something fresh. These little choices don't seem like much at the time, but over weeks and months, they add up. As we age, it's easy to assume that losing strength or feeling tired is just part of getting older. But the truth is, much of that decline isn't just about age, it's about staying inactive, not eating well, and brushing off the small signals our bodies give us. If you've ever felt stiff after sitting for a while or noticed your balance isn't what it used to be, those are gentle nudges from your body. Movement is still essential no matter your age. The less you move, the harder it becomes to move at all. And before long, even everyday things, like getting up from a chair, climbing a few stairs, or reaching up to a cabinet, can feel like a challenge. Weakened muscles can lead to poor balance, and that increases the risk of falling. A fall might sound like a minor thing, but for older adults it can lead to broken bones, long recovery times, or even permanent changes to daily life. Take someone like Henry. At 74, he considered himself in decent shape. But over time, he started skipping his afternoon walks, thinking he'd make up for it later. A few months passed, and he noticed it was harder to stand for long without getting tired. His knees began to ache. When he finally tried to get back into his old routine, he found that even a short walk left him out of breath. It took him months to rebuild the strength he'd lost. Looking back, he often said he wished he had never slowed down in the first place. Diet is another area where many folks unknowingly slip. Some think that because they don't eat as much as they used to, nutrition doesn't matter as much. But as the body ages, it actually needs more of certain nutrients, like protein for muscle strength, calcium for healthy bones, and fiber for good digestion. Relying on packaged foods or skipping meals can lead to nutrient deficiencies that leave you feeling tired, weaken your immune system, and raise the risk for conditions like high blood pressure or diabetes. And let's not forget checkups. Many older adults avoid the doctor unless something feels seriously wrong. But regular screenings are one of the best ways to catch health problems early, while they're still manageable. High cholesterol, high blood pressure, or early signs of bone loss often have no clear symptoms. If you wait until something feels off, it might already be more serious than it needs to be. Caring for your health means being proactive, not just reacting when things go wrong. The encouraging news? It's never too late to make small, steady changes. A short 15-minute walk each day can lift your energy. Swapping out processed snacks for fresh fruit or whole grains makes a real difference. Even gentle strength exercises with light weights or resistance bands can help maintain your muscle and prevent the slow creep of frailty. Prioritizing your health checkups can give you peace of mind and help you stay one step ahead. Taking care of your body isn't about trying to stop aging. It's about giving yourself the best chance to keep doing the things you enjoy, with the people you love, for as long as you can. Number 2. Pulling away from loved ones. One of the quietest yet most painful mistakes people can make later in life is slowly pulling away from the people who care. At first it might not seem like much. You start turning down invitations, stop picking up the phone as often, or convince yourself that others are too busy to spend time with you. But before you know it, days turn into weeks, and that gentle retreat becomes a deep silence, the kind that can slowly dim your spirit. We are by nature built for connection. Staying in touch with others isn't just about avoiding loneliness, it's about holding on to something deeper, a sense of belonging, a reason to get up in the morning, and the warmth that only comes from knowing someone cares. A lot of older adults have come to believe that feeling lonely is just part of growing older. But that's a heartbreaking misconception. In truth, isolation can take a serious toll. Studies have shown that being socially disconnected can affect the body as much as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. It increases the risk of heart disease, weakens the immune system, and is strongly linked to memory problems and even dementia. The mind needs regular moments of connection, shared stories, laughter, the comfort of hearing a familiar voice. Without them, the brain can start to slow down. Memory fades faster, motivation dips, and life begins to feel a little heavier than it used to. Take the story of Dorothy, a 76-year-old who slowly stopped reaching out to her circle of friends. She told herself it was better not to bother anyone, that they were probably busy with their own families. Over time, her days became quieter, her TV became her main companion, and a deep tiredness settled into her routine. She didn't feel like the woman she once was. Her joy dulled, her spark dimmed, and she found herself withdrawing even further. But then, something shifted. She picked up the phone and called an old friend. She joined a local book club. She invited her grandchildren over for lunch on Sundays. And as those connections returned, so did her spirit. She felt more present. Her laughter returned. Even her memory and energy seemed to improve. It was like coming back to life. Another quiet misstep is relying only on family for connection. Family is precious, of course, but they have their own full lives. Counting on them alone for companionship can sometimes leave you feeling more forgotten than connected. That's why building a broader circle, with friends, neighbors, or local community members, can make all the difference. Having multiple connections brings richness to life. It creates a sense of support that doesn't rise and fall with one person's availability. It's not about being busy all the time, it's about having people to share a story with, someone to check in on you, someone who's glad to see you walk in the room. Today's technology has opened new doors. Even if you're not a fan of screens and gadgets, learning a few simple tools, like how to make a video call or send a voice message, can help bridge the distance when in-person visits aren't possible. You don't have to be a tech expert. You just need the willingness to stay connected in this ever-changing world. And the best part? It's never too late. Whether it's joining a small group at your local library, volunteering at a nearby shelter, attending a community event, or simply calling one friend each week, these small steps can lead to beautiful changes. What matters most isn't the number of people you talk to, it's the quality of those conversations, the feeling that someone sees you, hears you, and values your presence. If you're still watching and these words have resonated with you, please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love for you to join us by subscribing and turning on notifications. Your support helps us keep sharing content made just for you. Now let's keep going. Number 3. Refusing to adapt to change. One of the quiet missteps many of us make as we get older is resisting change. It could be new technology, shifting routines, or the way people relate to one another today. Whatever form it takes, change can feel like an unwelcome visitor. After living life a certain way for decades, it's natural to think, why should I have to adjust now? But the truth is, when we resist change, life doesn't pause to wait for us. It just keeps moving forward, often leaving us feeling frustrated or left out. Many older adults assume that technology is a young person's game. But in today's world, staying connected, truly connected, often means being willing to learn new things. Whether it's figuring out how to send a text message, joining a video call with family, or accessing your bank account online, these aren't just modern conveniences, they've become tools that help us stay involved in the lives we care about and handle our daily needs with more ease. When we shy away from learning these things, we risk losing out. Important conversations can pass us by. Tasks that could be simple become harder than they need to be. And in some cases, not understanding how the digital world works can make us more vulnerable to confusion or even scams. Take someone like Walter. He was 78 when he decided he'd had enough of people telling him to get with the times. His old flip phone worked just fine, and he didn't see the point of switching. But gradually, he noticed things changing. His grandkids were chatting in group messages he couldn't be part of. His bank asked him to log in online for certain services, and ordering something as simple as a refill on his medication became more complicated without a basic knowledge of how websites worked. So one day, Walter gave it a try. His daughter helped him pick out a smartphone, and together they walked through the basics. Slowly but surely, he learned to text, make video calls, and even order his groceries with a few taps. What he thought would be overwhelming turned out to be a lifeline, one that brought him closer to his family and gave him more independence than he'd had in years. But change doesn't stop at technology. Sometimes it's about habits, the way we eat, how we move, the way we care for our homes. It could be finally replacing an old carpet that's become a tripping hazard, or being open to a new kind of exercise that helps ease joint pain. It might even be listening to a doctor's advice that's different from what we were told 30 years ago. Holding on to the idea that this is just how I've always done it can quietly hold us back, especially when there are safer, healthier, and more effective ways of doing things now. Relationships change too. The younger generations talk differently, think differently, and live in ways that might not make sense to us at first. It's easy to roll our eyes or judge. But when we approach these differences with curiosity rather than resistance, something special happens. We start to build bridges instead of walls. We listen more, and in return, they open up more. And before we know it, we're not just observers, we're part of the conversation. Many older adults find a renewed sense of connection when they stop expecting the world to look like the one they grew up in and start meeting it where it is today. Adapting doesn't mean letting go of who you are. It means staying flexible enough to keep growing, to keep moving forward with purpose and grace. The world isn't slowing down, and the more we're willing to adjust, the more we're able to live with freedom, confidence, and joy. It's never too late to try something new. And when we stay open, we discover that change isn't something to be afraid of. It's often where the next beautiful chapter of life begins. Number 4. Mismanaging finances. One of the most difficult challenges some people face in their later years is losing control of their finances. It's something that can quietly creep in, often without warning, and turn what should be a time of peace and comfort into a season of unexpected stress. As we grow older, it's easy to think money doesn't matter as much anymore. Maybe you're no longer working, maybe you've set aside savings or have a retirement fund. But the truth is, how you manage your money in these later years matters just as much, if not more, than it did before. Overspending, forgetting to plan for future costs, or being unprepared for emergencies can slowly drain what took a lifetime to build. Many older adults assume they'll have enough to carry them through. But life doesn't always follow the plan. Medical bills can be higher than expected. Prices for everyday items go up, a sudden home repair or need for long-term care can come out of nowhere, and what once felt like a comfortable cushion can begin to shrink. Take Richard, for example. He's 72 now. After retiring, he felt he had enough saved to enjoy life, and he did just that. Traveling, treating his grandkids, enjoying nice meals out. But by the time he reached his late 70s, the reality started to set in. His medical costs increased, and he hadn't accounted for how expensive long-term care might be. Eventually, Richard had to ask his children for help, something he never wanted to do. Looking back, he wished he had paced himself a little more carefully. Not because he regrets the memories, but because he wanted to keep his independence for as long as possible. Another common mistake is assuming that financial planning ends with retirement. It doesn't. Even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, it's important to check in on your spending habits, review your budget, and think ahead. Your needs change, and your financial plan should change with them. Keeping track of where your money goes, understanding how much you might need for healthcare, and thinking through the possibility of needing long-term care, all of that can help protect you from future hardship. Even simple steps like making a monthly budget or setting aside a small emergency fund can offer real peace of mind. There's also the heartbreaking truth that older adults are often the targets of financial scams. Whether it's a phone call pretending to be from the IRS, an email offering a too-good-to-be-true investment, or someone claiming to be a helpful advisor, many of these scams are designed to exploit trust. It's not a sign of weakness to fall for them, it's a sign of the world we live in. The best defense is to stay informed, be cautious, and whenever possible, involve someone you trust in your financial decisions. It's important to remember, financial security in this stage of life isn't about having the biggest bank account. It's about being wise, thoughtful, and prepared. It's about knowing where your money is going, planning for the unexpected, and protecting what you've worked hard for. And it's never too late to make a change. Even small adjustments, cutting back a little on unnecessary spending or reviewing your financial plan, can make a big difference in the long run. That difference can be the space between financial worry and true peace of mind. If you're still watching and you found this helpful, please take a moment to comment. Number 4 below it lets me know you're here and that this message connected with you. And if you haven't already subscribed, I encourage you to do so and turn on the notification bell. Your support allows us to keep making thoughtful, helpful videos for you. Let's continue on together. Number 5. Letting go of mental growth and purpose. One of the most quietly damaging choices people make as they grow older is to let their sense of growth and purpose slip away. It often happens gradually. After retirement, many start to believe their season for learning, dreaming, or making a difference is over, that their role in shaping the world has already passed. But the truth is, having something meaningful to look forward to, whether it's a new hobby, a fresh goal, or simply the joy of discovery, plays a vital role in keeping the mind sharp, the heart full, and the body energized. There's a common belief that growing older means inevitable mental decline. Yes, the brain changes with age, but science tells us something encouraging. Our brains remain remarkably capable of learning and forming new connections well into later life. The real enemy isn't aging, it's doing nothing. When we stop feeding our minds with stimulation, they begin to slow. But when we stay engaged, by reading, doing puzzles, learning new skills, or even just having deep conversations, we help keep our brains alive and vibrant. Take Mary, for example. At 70, she had always been someone who loved learning. But after retiring, she slipped into a routine of long hours in front of the TV. Gradually, she began forgetting things more often. Conversations felt harder to follow. Her world grew smaller. Then one day she signed up for a painting class at her local community center. It was something completely new for her. Within weeks, something shifted. She felt more alert, more connected. Her days had structure again, and she even made a few new friends who shared her curiosity. That one choice helped her reconnect with the world around her, and with herself. Another quiet but powerful loss is waking up without a reason to start the day. After spending years working, raising families, and caring for others, it's easy to feel unmoored when those responsibilities fall away. And without a sense of purpose, it doesn't take long for boredom, sadness, or even depression to take hold. That purpose doesn't have to be grand. It could be mentoring someone younger, helping out at a local library, growing a garden, writing stories from your life, or simply being the wise friend who always makes time for others. These are the things that give each day meaning. They create rhythm, energy, and joy. Many older adults shy away from new experiences because they're afraid of failing or think they're too old to start something new. But that's a myth. In fact, some of the most inspiring people are those who took on bold new things in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, new languages, new instruments, even new businesses. It's not about age, it's about attitude. Growth doesn't stop when the candles on the cake say 70 or 85. Growth stops when we stop reaching, when we stop believing that there's more life to live and more to learn. Staying mentally active and connected to a sense of purpose does more than lift your spirits. It strengthens memory, supports physical health, and even adds years to your life. The people who keep learning, who stay curious, who seek to give and grow, they tend to live longer, fuller, and more joyful lives. No matter how many birthdays you've celebrated, your mind is still capable of wonder. Your life still has something to offer, not just to others, but to yourself. Keep moving forward, keep your heart open to new things, and never let go of the belief that something beautiful could still be just around the corner. As we come to the end of this conversation, I invite you to take a quiet moment and think about which of these 5 mistakes might be showing up in your own life, or perhaps in the life of someone you care about. Growing older isn't just about counting the years, it's about choosing how we want those years to feel. Will they be filled with meaning, connection, and peace? Or will they be weighed down by regret, frustration, and missed chances? Here's the hopeful part: avoiding these common pitfalls doesn't mean turning your life upside down. Often, it's the small, steady changes that bring about the greatest shift. A little more attention to your body, a little more effort to reach out, a little more grace for yourself as you adapt to new realities. If your health has taken a back seat, maybe today is the day to start moving a bit more, cooking something nourishing, or scheduling that doctor's visit you've been putting off. If you found yourself feeling isolated, know that it's never too late to reconnect with old friends, new neighbors, or even through a phone or video call. If change has felt hard lately, remind yourself that adapting doesn't mean letting go of who you are. It means equipping yourself to stay strong and independent in a world that keeps shifting. You're not falling behind, you're learning how to move forward in a new way. If money worries have been keeping you up at night, start where you are. Look at your spending, set small goals, and take steps that bring more stability and peace of mind. And if you've been feeling like your purpose has grown quiet, start small. Maybe it's reading a good book, learning something new, or offering your time and wisdom to someone who needs it. You still have so much to give. Every decision you make today plays a part in shaping your future, and it's never too late to take charge, to care for yourself in new ways, and to make these years rich with meaning. Thank you for spending time with us. We truly love to hear from you. If something in today's message resonated with you, take a moment to share it in the comments. Maybe one thing you learned or one change you plan to make. Your voice matters here. Reading your thoughts always lifts our spirits. If this video spoke to you, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with someone who might benefit. Your support helps us keep creating thoughtful, useful content for you. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.